Go online and you will find a lot of videos dealing with the issue of plastic in our oceans, in our rivers, coming up on our beaches, polluting our cities. But when they talk about the plastic in water, there's a huge elephant in the room that no one is bringing into the conversation. Now, the clear plastic, here's a 2-liter bottle, and we're gonna fill that with water. Now that little blue ring is probably HDPE, which is number 2 plastic, but this bottle is number 1, PET plastic. And PET plastic, the problem with it is that it's denser than water. It sinks. Apple juice bottle, same thing. Now think about that. They're talking about the plastic that's floating in the ocean, floating on the rivers, floating and making its way to our beaches. But who's talking about the fact that PET plastic is denser than water and does not float unless it has a well-secured lid on it? And that's not going to stay there forever. It sinks. Bye-bye. And think of all the bottled water bottles. There probably aren't as many 2-liter bottles as there once was, but there are a lot of water bottles made out of number 1 PET plastic. And once again, bye-bye. It is denser than water, and therefore it sinks. My wife buys her spinach in this because it's not available any other way. And you'll find some of the restaurants using PET plastic for some of their containers. There it goes. Bye-bye. Sinking down to the bottom of the barrel. Now, not all plastic is denser than water. So one of the other abundant plastics is HDPE, which is number 2. Number 2 plastic, high density polyethylene, and it in fact is less dense than water, but not by much. So look, it is just sitting at the surface. So I brought a spoon and some sand, because I'm telling you, it's not even I don't even think it's a millimeter above the water. That's how close to the exact weight of water this plastic is, but it is lighter in density, so it does float. So I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of sand or dirt in there, and bye-bye, it sinks. And I think as fast as that's sinking, I probably could have put a lot less in there. So another fairly common plastic is number 5, which is virtually all of your dairy products that are in white plastic containers in the US. And it too, technically, is less dense than water. So it floats. But just like the HDPE, it barely floats. So that's a small container. Let's just put a little bit of sand and dirt in there. See what happens. Still floating. Still floating. Bye-bye. There she goes. That's all it took to make those 2 floating plastics sink. And the PET plastic is denser than water, so it sinks automatically, guaranteed in every case. That is a problem because those containers aren't floating. They're not in the Pacific Ocean patch. They're not in those huge piles of trash shown backed up at dams on rivers, and streams, and creeks. They're not in all that plastic that's washed up on the beach that had to float to get there. They sink. So think of how much plastic is not seen, out of sight, out of mind, but it is a huge problem. It has to be.